The following video has been rated PG-13 for, it's pretty good, if you're 13. Porn!
Every once in a while, you get to visit one of those places that you've been waiting years to come and vlog. Today is one of those days. Hello, my friends. It is your Uncle Splorin Ryan. I'm in the parking lot of, well, the structure right behind me. And while it's, nice enough parking lot, the real attraction is right here, Stone Mountain Park in Georgia. One of my first YouTube experiences was watching Stone Mountain Park at Christmas time, and it's not Christmas time. I've been wanting to do the Christmas time Stone Mountain Park thing for a while, but I've always kind of had a soft spot in my heart for this whole place because this is one of the locations that I found through YouTube and always said, I got to get out there and try it myself. It took a few years, but we're here. Perhaps in one of those alpha omega situations, right about the same time I found Stone Mountain Park on YouTube, I found other travel vlogs by someone else who kind of inspired me to take the whole move across the US thing a little bit more seriously. And the other YouTuber was this gentleman right here, which I don't know, you probably don't know this, but when I first started watching YouTube to find travel locations, this was the first location that I really found through it. And that very same day, while looking at other stuff, is when I discovered your videos for the first time too. So this is kind of wrapping it all together in a nice package.
All going around full circle.
Subscribe below, and we'll see you next time when we do a little bit more exploring.
Splorin.
Join us today at Stone Mountain as we do just a little exploring. Kind of give you an idea where we are right now. We just parked over here in the Sky Ride area. We're gonna walk over here and get on the Sky Ride and head on up to this. When you first get in, you've got to buy whatever ticket you want for the day, and it looks like there's a couple of different options right here, starting at $15, going up to about $35. Joining us as we decide how cheap we want to be today is Bama Mike. And he's on his triumphant return to Georgia. This time, he's tackling the state himself. No one's coming after him this time.
Come on.
There are currently a half a dozen people filming this as we get on to the Sky Tram right now. Here's my version. Coming into the Sky Tram right now. It's 30 of us, maybe? 30 people?
Feel as we pick up speed.
Is this a good time to mention that when I'm in tight enclosed areas, I scream uncontrollably?
View straight ahead of us on the rock. That carving is 90
I'm getting the impression it is a bad thing.
And it represents 3 acres. You can fit 2 full-size belly school buses on the back of the middle horse. Stone Mountain is the largest piece of exposed granite in the world. We're a few miles away. The mountain is 825 feet above ground. Outside it's going to look like they're going faster than us. The low cars go the same speed.
That's our shadow right there. My shadow inside that shadow.
Harry, I've reached the top. A couple of quick thoughts on the tram ride up. Your ears are going to pop like crazy. We are pretty high up at this point. You're going to go over a little bit of a lump in the cable. It goes up and then comes back down. So your stomach is going to drop. And I'm not allowed to film a serious video, obviously. Catherine got us safely to the top here at Stone Mountain, and what is the first thing that we should be seeing here now that we're at the top?
Let's see, now that you're at the top, when you go out of this building, you can go actually onto the rock, and if you look to the left of the building, you'll see a perfect view of the cities of Atlanta. It's Atlanta, and then Buckhead, and then the city of Sandy Springs. Looks huge from up here, and it's very clear today.
And here's what kept us alive. Much like myself, Tampa Jay is visiting Stone Mountain Park for the very first time, I believe. It's hot and humid and muggy up here.
It is. Actually, I visited before, but this is my first time on top. I never came to the top of Stone Mountain.
So you two have reached the top.
I have reached the top.
Natural attraction or not, of course you cannot have any attraction without having some sort of pucker powder vending contraption. right here with all the deliciousness of Coke and t-shirts. And where are we? Well, at the moment we are right about here, and we started all the way down here. The mountain itself is basically just a large piece of granite at the top. It's about 5 miles wide at the very base of it, and today we're going to show you as much of that as we possibly can, given our time constraints. Greg from Adventures by George has been here multiple times in the last 2 years alone, so
yes.
we're kind of leaning on him to tell us what to do and what not to do so that we don't fall down a hill today. And now the delicious scent of freshly popped popcorn and slushies. What does it look like when you cram a half dozen YouTubers into a small space and make them all film at the same time? A little bit more organized than you might think. Many times now I've heard the top of Stone Mountain described as being the face of the moon here on Earth, and I can kind of see why. It's actually a very odd surface if you're not used to the whole rock and mountain life, which I'm not, but the views here are really second to none. Get a very good view of Atlanta off in the distance, and we actually saw Stone Mountain from the Marion Marquis at DragonCon the other day. It is absolutely enormous, and as big as it feels up here, it actually looks even bigger from, 20 odd miles away. Greg is taking Jay over to see a water park, which I didn't even realize they had here. People have been living on or around Stone Mountain since well before most of the history books were even being considered. And when settlers got here originally, there were already signs of habitation from the Native Americans. There was actually a rock wall. Yeah, apparently I've been trolled. Greg has informed me that this dry puddle is the water park. I understand you can actually hike down the mountain. It's supposed to be something like 1.5 miles down. You got to wear the right kind of shoes. You got to follow a specific path. I think it might be this white line that you see behind us. We're not going to do that today because I don't like heights, and hell no. Uh-oh. That's never a good sign. Right now, Adam is trying to figure out what this says. It looks like we've translated the name into Horace Longford. Now, Horace, you left your name, so they know it was you. They're not happy. And because your name is Horace, I'm guessing you've been dead for 80 years. Confirming this line right here is the hiking trail that you could use to, do the 1.5 mile hike down to the bottom of the mountain. Stone Mountain Park is actually it's a state park that came from a Confederate memorial that sprang up in about the mid part of the last century. Because of the park's roots as a Confederate memorial, its recess carving of Jefferson Davis, General Stonewall Jackson, and I believe General Lee. There's been a lot of controversy at this park. In fact, the park, back in the day, I mean, it's been a while, obviously, had a Ku Klux Klan connection as well, as the Second Rising in Georgia met around the bottom of this. It's been a while. While they still play up the history, they are definitely more about the natural history now than they are the human history. Looks like something of size has been here. And look at this, another Horace. This time it's Horace Riley. You just can't trust the Horaces. They're all vandals.
Yeah.
As always, I'm always on the lookout for a good trucker hat. That's not so bad. Even more exciting, though, are beaver nuggets. As I film it, it's Sunday and Labor Day weekend. It's starting to kind of get thick up here, as you can see. It's much more popular than when we first got here, so I do believe it's time to escape back down to the bottom of the mountain and continue the Splorin there. Important safety tip, please wait inside, faux conductor. All right, I'd like to introduce a brand new segment here on Splorin. A little segment I like to call Uncomfortably Close with Adam the Woo.
Here we go. Today's playing of the bells are live. If you missed it the first time, Carmen's showing up.
Just made it back down the mountain. We're gonna head out through this rather lengthy exit, which has definitely picked up some steam. When you walk in, you get your photo taken, and you can actually come down here and buy the photo. All for about 25 bucks. And speaking of $25, drops you right off into a gift shop, where you can catch up with Jesus. I'm fairly certain that's well-intentioned, but I'm still not quite sure about it. And that, my friends, is the shot. I feel all weepy now.
You all right?
Mike, you feeling a little weepy now?
Maybe we should have.
a little bit.
Maybe we should have took in this view before we climbed up the mountain there.
I'm also hot. Now it's got to kind of weave in through the woods here. Looks like there's some sort of play place up here. And that's right over here.
Is that for adults?
I have no idea.
It is now. I can't go in. There's too much water in there.
Looks like there's multiple choice. You got the zip line area, the challenge park over on this side.
Look at the size of this friggin' seagull.
Splorin! Looks like they're gearing up for the Pumpkin Festival, the Halloween festival that they have here. And here's their Halloween geysers. One thing I do want to point out is I do want to come back at Christmas time when they've got everything lit up, and you can see they've actually already got all the Christmas lights in place. If you've ever been to Silver Dollar City or Cedar Point or Knott's Berry Farm or Dollywood, you've probably been through one of these type of areas right here. It's sort of like an 1880s themed area, and that means there should be a fudgery nearby. Got the annex, the adventure center, and of course, the most important thing, barbecue. I guess we can't hydrate today. Although I have the whole dehydrate thing covered at the moment. And there it is, a fudgery. No, I can't make any regrettable decisions today. Or maybe you will. Maybe I will. And it looks like we just missed this half-empty train. But that does give us time to explore the marketplace. A view from the cheap seats. We're here too early in the day, obviously, for fireworks, but there is a fireworks and a laser show that happens, goes through this area right here. I'm actually standing in the area where a lot of people will bring their blankets down and sit down and watch that every night. I think that is part of the price of admission here at Stone Mountain, if you were at all interested in such things. Because of this relief carving, this area has been known throughout the years as the Confederate Mount Rushmore, which, as I said, has caused no end of controversy. All I'm going to say is that it's a remarkable feat of engineering, and leave it at that. Right next to the crossing is the Great Locomotive Chase Adventure Golf. I'm not sure we're going to get time to get back there today. We're going to walk around the city. Just to make Adam feel at home, I'm going to throw up in this garbage can and then pee on the corner of this house. Welcome to the Johnson Hotel, established in 1840. All peaches. Wow, this particular state park has an outlet store. Well, I believe our ride is here. What most people don't realize is that this was the first train ever placed on the tracks at Stone Mountain since the last train that they placed here. It's history, look it up. I'd like to point out that we all took our own row of seats here. Nice close view of the adventure golf. Doesn't have all the, ceramic octopi and crashed planes that we get in Orlando. It's nice and clean. Seated on the train, at Christmas time, this is the Stone Mountain sing-along train, where you do a Christmas thing. They get Christmas, Christmas lights all over the place. You sing Christmas songs. I think there may be hot chocolate or something. and then you go see a Christmas play being staged. And it's in an old little rickshaw town. I think we're gonna go take you out there to see that today.
Into all our super fun train stuff, I have to go over some safety rules. I know, boom, safety rules. We like to say, all aboard. So on the count of 3, I want to hear your loudest, your most energetic, all aboard. 1, 2, 3. All aboard! Ladies and gentlemen, from engine,
I've been seeing this area in vlogs for the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years. Specifically right here, the Pebble Ridge Courthouse, which is where they host their Christmas presentation, which I believe is called The Gift.
You guys get to hear some really...
There's a fake hillbilly in this window right here.
Does anybody know how a mountain cheats on a test? Second one, that's all
Couple abandoned cars here.
Those train cars used to be heated.
Looks like we're rolling back into civilization.
You can park an entire school bus
just in time to see the relief.
If you wanted to. That's how big it is for comparison.
That's a big relief. Well, I for one appreciate that. In case you were wondering, this is pandemonium. I've never had an aneurysm before, but I'm pretty sure this is what it feels like. And now, a half dozen middle-aged vloggers will explore not quite Jurassic Park. You get a minute. You're humming the theme song right now, aren't you? It's okay. I get it. This poor woman has no idea she's about to be attacked by something in an egg. Hey kids, look, it's a giant pile of...
Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh my goodness.
This is Bagel the dinosaur.
Awesome. Now let me tell you a little bit about Bagel. Bagel and his twin brother Reggie were born right here in Stone Mountain Park in our dinotorium in the second level of our dino nursery. All right, so I need a volunteer. Who wants to be about... I saw your hand first, my friend. Come on up here, stand behind the green line. All right, what's your name, friend? Ready? 1, 2, 3. And there he is! Good job, boy!
Welcome to the museum. Blackjack's brittle behind me. This is the actual size of the brittle on Jefferson Davis's horse on the relief carving behind us. That's just the buckle. It's time to discover Stone Mountain. It's time to discover your nightmares. Everyone's afraid of mannequins, right? It's not just me. And right behind us is what the carving was supposed to look like. But it was deemed that this would be too small to see from 1.5 miles away. Well, now that we've lined everybody up in an awkward manner right behind me, we're going to go ahead and close out this video. We're going to see you next time with Bama Mike, Tampa Jay.
Check out the carpetbagger.
No, Adventures by George.
Adventures by George.
Adventures by George. And I'm
Fine on his
Adam the Woo.
pressure.
And I'm Adam the Woo. And we'll see you all next time when we do in the heat stroke.
You gotta get in the frame.
Just
A little
Splorin. Well,